Hello guys, Bran here and welcome to another commentary video, and if you're not here for the commentary video, you are in the wrong place. I'm sorry, I don't know how you got lost, but hopefully you can find your way home. Today we're going to be talking about how Chaos Shuffle could become our casual mode. Dead by Daylight has been talking a while, but potentially adding a ranked mode, and the reverse thought of this is actually that not so much that we need a ranked mode, but more so that the average mode that we play every single day has kind of turned into a ranked mode itself, and we can't seem to escape it, and obviously that's a tremendous problem. But if we go the reverse direction and we try to add a casual mode, this may be the solution to our problems, because if our average games are too sweaty, we may need to go the opposite direction and make something that's more casual than that. I think the Chaos Shuffle is a great candidate to potentially become this permanent casual mode. I made a whole video talking about my feelings about the Chaos Shuffle and how I prefer it to the normal game mode because of its casual nature. So if you want my more full and clear thoughts about that, watch that video. But very quickly, to summarize the things I like about it is the problems with Dead by Daylight is that perk strength is extremely strong. Perk strength is extremely strong. Perks often on their own are not issues. Pain Res by itself, fine perk. It's very, very good. Best slowdown in the game, but it's balanced by the fact that you ideally can't tunnel to get value out of it. But if you pair that with like Pop Goes the Weasel on top of it, suddenly it becomes a massive issue. Same thing with like the survivor end of things. Obviously, Deja Vu by itself seems like, oh, well, that's fair and fine because that's just a way to break up 3-gens. But you pair that with a toolbox with a brand new part and prove thyself, suddenly it's an issue. See? But Chaos Shuffle quite literally does away with this because you quite literally cannot run those combinations because the perks that are given to you are completely randomized. So your ability to synergize something and play something super sweaty for advantage has been completely gutted. You are not able to do that. So as a result, the Chaos Shuffle is, all intents and purposes, kind of a soft casual mode for Dead by Daylight. And as a result, a lot more people are having a tremendous amount of time. Behavior just posted on the Twitter when they now announced the extension for it that 18 million people have queued for it. So the queue times are great as well. You don't even really notice the difference between normal queues and the queues for this, which was another big reason we kind of didn't want to go into the whole alternative game mode thing, even if it was a casual versus ranked mode. Because we were worried the queue times would get too long. But as we have seen through this experiment, clearly that is not the case. Clearly, if there is a demand for something like this, the players will play it. And I played both normal mode and Chaos Shuffle mode during this time period, and none of which seemed to have tremendously bad queue times either way. So it's pretty good. It seems to be not be an issue at all. Now, however, the main thing that I wanted to get into, the meat and potatoes of this video, is that Chaos Shuffle is not fully fleshed out as a casual mode. It works for what it does, and it does make the game more casual, but I'm sure, as you guys have found out, there have been some ways that players are still finding ways to aggressively curb the game in their favor, even in a game mode where you don't have access to oppressive perk synergy. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the things we could do to try and improve Chaos Shuffle. That way it could become a full casual mode. First off, the big one that you probably see coming, map offerings. Map offerings gotta go. Map offerings have to be disabled in this mode, because if there's anything that I have seen that has actually kind of continued to not be casual and continued to be frustrating while playing this mode, is that people bring map offerings of their favorite. Both killers and survivors do this. I've seen nurses bring Midwich, which is very, very annoying and awful, and then I've seen survivors obviously try to send you to Garden of Joy, most often Eerie of Crows, which is a very, very frustrating and awful map for killer. Map offerings probably need to be disabled. Map offerings on the surface are supposed to be just like fun ways to go to your favorite maps that you enjoy, but in practice they've been used historically just to create very, very oppressive games from one side or the other, as players found the sidedness of each side of the maps. So they use that mostly as a competitive advantage. So in a casual mode, we can't have those being thrown out there. The second one, and probably the one you've run into the most on the killer end of things, is items. Specifically, there's stuff like BNPs and very, very aggressively strong toolboxes that create very, very nasty problems of sweat in the game, despite the fact that you cannot have a perk like Prove Thyself or Deja Vu unless you get lucky to synergize with it. A BNP toolbox does not need perks to synergize with it. It just goes burr. Very, very, very good medkit with syringe, styptic. You don't need a build or perks to really go with that. The items are so strong on their own that they will do a lot of carrying just by themselves. So obviously we can't have items like that in a true casual mode, because those will obviously be abused by people trying to make the experience sweaty inside of a casual mode. Funnily enough, looking for a casual experience here, we're actually going to look into Comp Dead by Daylight, where there are restrictions on the rarity of items that you use. In the last charity tournament that I played in, we were not allowed to bring above a yellow item as survivors. That included our add-ons and our items. So we can only bring yellow medkit, yellow flashlight, etc. And our add-ons had to be the same. I think something like this, very, very similar, would work out very, very well for a casual mode, because you could still have a pretty nice beefy medkit without being able to grant yourself endurance, grant yourself a full heal, just stuff like that. Finally, this last part is a little bit more complicated. It's one I'm probably going to need your help trying to figure out, is killer add-ons. So if you're looking from the survivor perspective of how to have a casual survivor match, killer add-ons are obviously a big issue. On the same vein of like people bringing in brand new part toolboxes, people are also bringing the best killer add-ons every match to get an advantage on that end. The most common example of this for me during the Chaos Shuffle has been every Myers I've been run into has had Tombstone or Infinite Tier 3. And I understand, believe me, I used to be a Myers main when I first started playing this game. Those are the only two good add-ons, right? Like, you can run double stock and have a good time, but you're not going to win consistently. You can run hairbow stock and have a good time, but you're not going to win consistently. The only way to win consistently across the very many very, very strong perks and maps in Dead by Daylight is to just mori somebody out of the game super early without having hooks. But as a result, that every time I get a Myers, I basically know that that's how the game's going to play out, because that's the only thing they bring in this mode. And this is, you know, double Eerie Blight before the nerf. Want to throw that out there. Double Eerie, not Blight before the nerf. Killers bringing their mangled add-ons. The nerf's mangled add-on, especially, I have seen a few times. But killers are also doing the same thing the survivors are doing, where they're trying to bring their version of items, which is add-ons, to try and card the game in their favor, which is, you know, if the point of the game is to be a casual mode, we can't have them doing that. However, this is a problem. This isn't just like a fix-all like with the item situation. Because with the item situation, we can just limit it to, okay, well, yellow rarity and below. But with killers, it's not as black and white, because a lot of killer items are actually better. Yellow add-ons are down, like the Xenomorph in specific, which is the character that I main. Lambert Star Map is their second best add-on, and a lot of people would argue their best add-on, and that's literally a yellow add-on. It's tremendously good, and I would be able to run that every game without issue. One of my best add-ons, which would make for a very, very advantageous position for me. And on the flip side, like banning purples and below, or like greens and below, wouldn't do a lot for a lot of killers, because a lot of especially Behavior's recent add-on design, purples and Eerie's are usually not that good. A lot of purples and Eerie's are just kind of like funny little gimmick add-ons that don't really do too much. Perfect example, going back to the Xenomorph that I know like the back of my hand, one of their purple add-ons is Cat Carrier, which is a reward for losing your power, which you shouldn't be doing, and a detectable, which is not a good status effect on the character, because the motion sensors sell you out anyway. And that's a purple add-on. So banning the purple add-on, banning Cat Carrier, would do nothing for me. I'm already not running it, so thanks. So there needs to be something probably a little bit more complex here. I think going ahead and doing that and lowering the amount of rarity that you could bring into matches as killer would be a good start, but it's not a full solution. I mean, something that's a little bit more contextual to account for killers whose best add-ons are those lower rarity add-ons. I don't know what we do there. I don't know if we like go killer to killer and try to do that. Obviously, trusting Behavior to do that is going to be kind of difficult, because they have different ideas of what's good and what's bad, and they don't really consult the community, mostly consult numbers, which makes things really complicated. I don't know, it's a very complex thing, and that's kind of where I would probably want to levy your ideas and your help, because what would be the next step after that? What would we do after that to make things more fair? I'm not sure. Maybe you have a better brain than I do about it. Yeah, those are the things I think we can do to make Chaos Shuffle become a full casual mode. You guys even want Chaos Shuffle to become our main casual mode? Let me know down in the comments below. Well, that's gonna be it for today's video, friends. Thank you so much for watching, spending time with me today. But I do upload daily, so we'll see you tomorrow. But if I do not, we'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.